Hello and welcome to Summer Gains with CNMS Advising. We hope that this video workshop recording is very useful for you no matter when you're watching it, whether it's in the summer, maybe it's in January between fall and spring semesters, maybe it is in the summer, but maybe it's next summer, the summer after we've recorded this. Regardless, we hope that you can find some helpful tips in this video. So, one of the things that's really helpful to do in the summer is to do small things that can get you ready for fall. So, whether you're working as a lifeguard or you have the internship of your dreams, a lot of students still get nervous that the fall semester is not going to go as well as they want. So, there's a lot of things you can do that are small, that don't take up a lot of time, but that can become good habits to get into, whether you're doing them every year or every day. We're going to go through a list of ways you can prepare yourself to come back super ready to tackle the next semester. So, the first thing I like students to do after the semester ends is a semester debrief. So, now that the spring semester has ended, or perhaps it's January when you're watching this and the fall semester has just ended, it's time to zoom out, look how things went, kind of, what was the good, what was the bad, what needs to change, that kind of thing. So here's how we do it. Number one, think about what went well and reflect on this so that you can repeat it. So there's lots of things that could be why you did really well this semester. Maybe you started going to tutoring or office hours to get help when you needed it. Maybe you found an amazing place to study in the library or elsewhere on or off campus. Maybe you had a study group that was amazing and you want to kind of try to replicate that as much as possible, even if you have to do it with different people. Um, Whatever it was, maybe you sat in the front of the classroom and that just really changed your perspective of things and helped you focus. Write it down, reflect on it so that you can repeat it. We want to be able to replicate the good things. The next thing we want to write down is what we want to avoid doing. So, what didn't go as well as you want? And how can you avoid doing that? So, whether that's bad habits you got into with homework, or you went to Starbucks every day and you didn't mean to, and now you don't have any spending money because you went to Starbucks every day and you need to just avoid that, whatever it is, think about things that you want to avoid and write them down so that you can really commit to them. You can really be aware of them. So we're always having to make changes and make ourselves a little bit better. Whether it's you want to be 30% better, 100% better, or just 1% better, we can always be a little better. So this is never something that gets completely solved, and we're always going to be working on ourselves. But it's important to list some of the things we want to avoid doing so that we can become the best versions of ourselves. And then what are some action steps we can take this summer to prepare for success? So we're going to go through a few of them. Number one is update your graduation plan. Take a look at your semester grades, see if you need to repeat any courses. If you failed a course or you didn't get the grade that you wanted and you really want to go back and take it for a better grade, um, you know, take care of that course registration now before sections fill up this summer, because we do have registration for first year and transfer students, and students that are already here at UMBC are changing their schedules around all summer too. So it's good to have those things locked in. Um, and yeah, if you have failed a course for the second time and you need to repeat it for the third time for your major, make sure that you fill out a third attempt petition, things like that. So your graduation plan might need to be updated for these reasons. It might also need to be updated because you changed your major or added a minor or took away a minor, or your career trajectory changed. So you're thinking of doing some different electives than you had initially planned. There might be a lot of reasons to update your graduation plan, but if you have changed anything at all, it's helpful to just take a look at that, make some edits, talk to an advisor. You can email your major advisor or contact a professional advising office. So we have a CNMS advising office, that's our office, but there's also a co-ed advising office if you're a co-ed student. There's general advising for costs. So if you can't get in touch with your major advisor because they're doing something else for the summer, like they're on a research trip and they're unavailable, you can always contact one of the other advising offices on campus for some help. Okay, I'm going to go through some tips now for things you can actually do, you know, as more of a practice. So one of them is to update your resume. Lots of people let their resume fall by the wayside during college, but you should be updating it at least once a year, maybe twice a year, probably after every semester is useful for college students. And you may need to update it at the beginning of summer and at the end of summer if you had work experience, any kind of work experience that should go on your resume. And this is really going to help you because if you get an opportunity in the middle of the fall semester, for instance, Like you find out that a professor is looking for an undergraduate research assistant in their lab and you really want to work in their lab, you'll already have that resume. You're not going to have to panic about it or run to the career center to get some help with it, at 2 o'clock on a Thursday, um, when the career center is open for drop-in resume help during the semester. Um, and it'll just make you feel like you're entering the fall semester ready to jump on any opportunities that come your way. So you can also check to see if we have any upcoming workshops with the Career Center. And if not, you can make an appointment on their site. And their site with appointment page will be linked in the description box of this video. Another tip we have for you is to read every day. So, starting a daily reading habit over the summer can be really beneficial even if you're not taking classes. This is because it helps keep your brain actively focused on a task for a longer period of time. So, if you let this focus and attention span go by the wayside this summer, it's sometimes really hard to jump back into it in the first few weeks of the semester because you're just not used to it. Our brains naturally have pretty short attention spans, and if we don't train them to focus, especially in a world like this where we have constant distractions, especially on our devices, um, it's just not super conducive to focusing for a longer period of time. So you can read anything: fiction, nonfiction, news, scientific journals, whatever you want. Ideally, with no distractions or phone notifications going off, like actually sit somewhere. Maybe it's for 30 minutes, maybe it's for 60 or 90 minutes, or even longer because you just love to read. But whatever you're reading, enjoy it. And you can check out our Instagram every summer for book recommendations. You can also visit your local library. They always have digital services now, so you can get audiobooks for free if you prefer that type of reading, or you could get digital editions of books if you have a Kindle or some kind of device where you like to read books. Another tip is to use outside resources whenever possible to prepare for your fall courses. So you might have a class upcoming this fall that's kind of scary. And one thing that students can do is find resources during the summer to prepare. So if you're taking an intro class, you can use a resource like Khan Academy. Um, if you're taking maybe not an intro class, there might be an open source textbook that you can use. And we would definitely recommend emailing the professor of the course for recommendations if you're taking a class that's maybe outside the scope of Khan Academy or something, just so that you know that you're getting the right information. But this can just help you get a head start in your learning and get in some practice, especially if you're in a problem-based course like math or chemistry or physics. And this can just be a really helpful strategy as well for students retaking a hard STEM course. So if you struggled, for instance, in Chem 351 and you need to repeat it, you'll have a pretty good sense of what you actually need to focus on because you already took the class. And you might still have textbook access or be able to get that textbook access over the summer if you contact the professor. So um, that can be really helpful. You might just know some practice materials that you can use, like YouTube resources, for instance. Something that everyone can do in the summer, even if you have nothing else to do, is volunteer. So, if you're not taking classes, doing internship related to your field, and you're worried you want to get some experience in the field, you can always do volunteer work in the summer. So, if you don't know where to get started, and some of you do, and you have great volunteer opportunities that you came up with yourselves, you can reach out to the Shriver Center, which is our campus office for volunteering and service work. Um, and they can help you find something, or you can just find an organization yourself that you feel passionately about helping. So check to see if we have any upcoming workshops with the folks from Schreiber Center, or you can visit their website, which, just like their Career Center, is linked in the description box. And this can be helpful for students pursuing medicine or research or anything in science or any other field, honestly. The Schreiber Center serves all students. So thank you for watching. Catch us in the next video or attend one of our upcoming workshops. And we hope you have such a wonderful summer. We can't wait to see you back on campus in the fall. Bye for now.